evening, the Austin Police Department's Lake Patrol Unit will begin enforcing a ban on personal watercraft on Lake Austin ahead of the 4th of July holiday. So this includes jet skis, wet bikes, motorized surfboards, and similar devices. This is something they do every year in an effort to keep people safe on the lake over the holiday.
The ban will go into effect at sunset on Thursday and end on Saturday at sunrise. Austin police say non-motorized devices like kayaks and canoes are still okay to use. Now, the ban does not apply on Lake Travis, but we know first responders out there are also gearing up for a very busy weekend. So joining us here in studio today is Rachel Nertzler with Lake Travis Fire Rescue with some important reminders if you'll be celebrating out on the water. So Rachel, welcome in and thanks for being with us.
Of course, thanks for having us.
So talk to us about that ban on Lake Austin. Does that drive more folks to Lake Travis with those kinds of personal watercraft devices? And then talk about how folks can share the waterways on Lake Travis with so many different kinds of swimmers, boaters, etc.
Of course, so we're definitely going to expect more of the people with personal watercraft to come to Lake Travis since there is a ban on Lake Austin. But what we really want to encourage people to do is to share the waterways and really pay attention to what's around them and who's around them. And the big thing is not to boat and drink. If you do that, that's going to lessen your response time if something is happening around you. So just make sure to really share the water and take caution with who's around you and know who's around you.
Certainly good advice for people out there, but you want to share the message about being safe while they're out on the water no matter what the circumstance might be. But there's another threat to be aware of for people out there, particularly when boats are perhaps idling or moving slowly, and that's with carbon monoxide.
Absolutely. It's something that I didn't know when I moved here. I didn't really think about it, but when boats are idling, they produce carbon monoxide, and it's odorless and it doesn't have a taste or anything like that. So a lot of people don't even know that they're being poisoned by carbon monoxide. And if they're not wearing a life jacket, they can fall into the lake and possibly drown. So we really want to encourage people to turn their motors off on their boats and stay away from the back of the boat or wherever the engine is so that they avoid that carbon monoxide.
What are some things folks should look out for, symptoms of maybe others on the boat with them, to have an indicator, ooh, something might be wrong here?
So symptoms are nausea, tiredness, anything you might see also with heat exhaustion. So if you're having any of those symptoms, just make sure that the boat's turned off and you get away from the back of the boat.
And what are some of the things that people should keep in mind if they're going out there for the first time? Of course, they want to have some fun on Lake Travis, but what are some things they should keep in mind?
The number one thing is to wear a life jacket. Life jackets can save your life. More than 80% of the drownings that occur are people that don't have life jackets on, so wear a life jacket. And then if you're going to dive into the lake, just make sure you don't do it head first. The lake is really low now. We've got some really great rains, but it's still low. So if you're going to jump in the water, make sure you jump feet first to avoid any head injuries.
All good stuff for preventing an emergency, but talk to us about what folks should do if an emergency happens. Sure. What are the steps they should take?
Main thing, call 911 as fast as possible. We need to get moving as fast as possible. If we're located at one of our stations, it's going to take us a while to get to our boat to get on the water. So the moment you think something's wrong, the moment you think someone's missing, please call 911, because the faster we can get there, the faster we can hopefully save a life.
Is Lake Travis Fire Rescue going to be changing up staffing for the holiday? Because, of course, there's going to be more people coming out to your area.
Yeah, we're going to try to upstaff as much as we can, and then we'll also position our folks around the lake or closer to the boat if we start noticing that we're getting more calls in a certain area.
I know part of what you all do too is responding as people are coming to and from the lake itself. Any message for drivers or folks who might just be using some of the areas around the waterway?
Sure. Just again, be cognizant of those around you. Practice safe driving habits. Be patient. Wear your seatbelt, and again, do not drink and drive.
Always great reminders. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us today. We wish your team the best of luck, and we thank you for being out there, keeping us safe, and we hope people at home are taking heed of all of these messages.
Thank you so much.